Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you can't tell, it has been a rough few days, but if you stick around for a minute, I'll explain it a little bit.
Good morning, and welcome to Bumblebee Junction.
Okay, we have been sick for about 4 days. Really started getting sick Monday when we were actually making the beet videos, so yeah, maybe Mark can explain that a little bit if he wants to get into detail, but last night was a rough night. I have hardly had any sleep. Mark is miserable, and there's no way I was going to put him on camera. So, actually, even though we are sick, there's still things that have to be done. The critters need to be fed, the garden needs to be watered, but we have had a couple of really beautiful, almost 80-degree days. The plants are really happy, and actually it was a bit overcast today, and we're expecting thunderstorms a little bit later in the afternoon, which means that Mother Nature is going to help me out a bit, help me water the garden. Grateful for getting through the cold snap and having a few nicer days where we didn't have to worry about anything. Well, yeah. Anyway, there are a few things to show you in the garden, and we'll get out there and kind of do it kind of slow, kind of at my pace, but hold on, and let me get ready. Okay, we'll start off over here. This is the beet bed that we planted, and they are certainly not up yet. But we're going to skip over here, and I want to show you. Sorry about the sniffing and stuff, but we have little baby volunteer dill already coming up over here. Yeah, looks like the cold might have slowed them down just a little bit, but yeah, this is where we had all the really big dill plants out here last year, and you can't pick dill without spilling a few, and they have decided to come up, and yeah, they're so cute. But got a few more beds to look at. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, these are the broccoli plants, and I have not put up all of these covers yet. Like to use these big pots to cover the plants when it gets really cold. And we had temps down into the 20s, and I covered them all up. But you know, Tennessee weather, I'm not going to put them up until the 1st of May. I'm just going to let them sit out here so that if I need them again, I can certainly get to them really easy. But yeah, we get down here and look at these are really pretty broccoli plants. They're doing really, really well. And I love that bluish green that they turn when they're really happy. But we've got all those guys. We'll come down here and look at the cabbage. And we do have one little guy right there. But most everybody is getting nice and big. Look down in there and see what we got going on. Sorry, you have to excuse my sniffing every time I tip my head. And here's the spinach that we planted. They're looking really, really good. And there's barely any holes in it. Probably won't replant too bad. There's 1 or 2 spots. But sharing this nice big garden bed with them are all of these little radishes. And they definitely will need to be thinned. But I've got lots of them. And they are really, really happy. I wasn't too sure if they were going to enjoy all the cold weather, but they came through just fine. We covered them on the really bad nights, and they came up, and everybody's doing really well over here. Got a few more things to look at, So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, this is the Chub's tomato bed, and we did have quite a few volunteers come up before the cold snap hit, but even though I covered them, it did do a bit of damage. There are certainly, let's see if I can point it. There are certainly more coming up, and as the ground warms even more, the deeper ones will come up. I'll show you the garlic. They are really taking off. I think they really enjoyed the warmer weather this past few days, but they are growing really, really big. And right next to them is where we planted the onions. Now these are the onions that I planted. They're the candy onions. And they have lots of new growth, and they are greening up. Won't be too long, and they'll be all nice and big and fluffy. And I don't think the cold ever stops these guys at all. These are the peas, and they've already got their little runners. And see, he's already grabbing onto the trellis a bit. They are doing really, really well. And this is not the only bed. We have one more bed, but gotta step over my tarps here because I don't want to put them up quite yet either. This is the second bed of peas. And yeah, they are getting really big and pretty. And I can't wait to get fresh peas. One of my favorite things to eat right out of the garden. And yeah, just kind of admit that maybe about a quarter of them never even make it to the house because, yeah, I love fresh peas. And right beside them are the red candy onions. And if you remember the video, Mark planted these. And yeah, gotta get rid of that guy. Don't need a weed sitting in the middle of it. But they have lots of new growth on them, and they're really starting to take off. But yeah, that's all that we have planted on this side. And yeah, the rest of the beds are pretty clean, and I'm really excited to start thinking about getting some squash and stuff in here, but that's going to be probably another couple of weeks before we do that. But I still have a really nice surprise, so hold on, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are over here at the first carrot bed, and look what I found this morning. That is the first little carrot up, and it's got just a couple, I think there's only like 3 of them in here, and they're really hard to find when they first start coming up. But do have the first carrot up. Really, really happy about that. Okay, so that's all the footage that I have for today. I know Mark put up a community post to let everybody know that we were a bit under the weather, and asked if everybody could, go back and watch a couple of videos to kind of help us get over this. We did not post a video on Wednesday, and wasn't quite sure I was going to make one today, but it does feel good to be outside, and we are going to get a little bit of rain here probably in the next hour or so. So yeah, Mother Nature is going to help me out a little bit today. Still have a lot of plans to get moving on some other stuff in the garden. Our actual last frost date is May 1st, so probably some of the more delicate plants like the squash and stuff will probably wait until then. But we do have a few other things planned and written down on the list. Let's see what else. Not really sure what else I can think of. I know that Mark told everybody on the in the same post with the community post that we're going to be getting our second vaccine next week. So we need to get over this and make sure it's in the rear view mirror before we go up and do that. So yeah, it did dry out a bit over the last couple of days, and I think once we get this rain past us, and I can get the tractors and stuff fired up. I do have the pink tractor out, and Mark has already brought his big blue one, and he's been tilling the big corn garden. I think last week he got it tilled really good and heavy. Maybe it was the week before last. But once we get through this and we get through the rain, then we can get that going, because corn is going to be one of the big fun things to get in. Still just a tiny bit early, but the ground does need to be worked at least one more time, and I don't think that's going to happen this week. I think that's going to probably be a next week kind of project. But anyway, I have just talked your ear off, and it's about time to just get back in the house and try to lay down maybe for a little while. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Don't forget to ring that little bell. It'll let you know when we finally get back to, gotta get through this. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, anything at all in your mind, please leave them in the little box below. And I am sorry, excuse me. If you enjoyed today's video, such as it is, I know this is not our usual kind of video, but please give it a thumbs up. I am going to go ahead and get on out of here. I do need to get back in the house for a little while, but don't forget, we love you, and we'll see you in the next one.